Hey there. So my family and I just got back from a recent trip that we took to Arizona and came back here to Utah. My kids, as much fun as we had in Arizona, as soon as we came back here to Utah, my kids were like, oh, it feels so good to be back home and to be here in Utah. So today I actually have had some clients that have moved from Arizona here to the Salt Lake City, Utah area. And I've had people say, Mariah, why are so many people moving from Arizona? Why are they coming here to Utah? Well, today this video is all about why people are making that move from Arizona to Utah, and we're gonna hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, and this channel is everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, who are looking to relocate, or looking to buy or sell a property here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, my team and I help people like you all the time. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. All right, so like I said, my family and I, we took a recent trip. We were actually a little bit north of the Phoenix area. We were in an area called Sedona, beautiful Red Rock area. My parents have been going there for years and years and years. And so they planned this family reunion. They're like, we're so excited to take the family to Sedona to explore everything that is going on there. And then we actually ended up heading over to the Grand Canyon and Arizona. It was very cool. However, while we were there, we noticed some things too of why maybe some people would prefer, or why some people are choosing to move from Arizona here to the Salt Lake City area. So some of these reasons are things that my children noticed, our family noticed, and then some of these things are things that my clients have actually told me of, like, hey, you know what? Arizona has been great for this amount of time, but we are ready to move. Okay, you can tell it is actually a really windy day here in Utah. That is something that you should know about Utah though too, is these winds sometimes pick up. But let's hop into reasons why people are moving here to Utah from Arizona. Number one is simply the climate. Yes, the climate in Arizona, for some people, they love it. One of my grandma's sisters actually moved from Minnesota to Arizona because she's like, the weather in Arizona, she's like, I love it hot and I love it dry, and Arizona is perfect for that. Well, some people that are moving from Arizona here to Utah, they want the 4 seasons. They are done with the really, really hot, dry summer months, and they want a change of season with that. They want something different. They want more greenery. They want, different things. They want the mountains that you're not going to see in certain parts of Arizona. However, there are parts like when we were in Sedona, you've got beautiful red rocks. You've got beautiful mountains surrounding you. Obviously, you've got the Grand Canyon. There's just so many different things that Arizona has to offer. But many people that are moving from Arizona here to Utah is, number one, simply the climate. They're looking for, either the 4 seasons. They're looking to be closer to skiing. They're looking to be, not have those really, really hot summers. The second reason people are moving from Arizona here to Utah, simply the job opportunities. There are a lot of job opportunities here in Salt Lake and around the Salt Lake City, Utah area. You've got the Silicon Slopes, which are in Lehigh. You've got that big tech industry. There are a lot of jobs within Salt Lake too. There are a lot of major universities here. The University of Utah, you've got Brigham Young University, you've got Utah Valley University, you've got Utah State. There are a lot of colleges and universities here which bring in a lot of jobs. There's a lot of trade jobs here as well. So the job opportunities here in Utah is another big draw of why people are moving here. Number 3 is really just the livability. Yes, the livability that is here in Utah. It's for a lot of people, they say it's an easy place to live. And I know when we lived in Southern California for many, many years, when we had people that had moved either from Utah to Southern California, they were always like, don't you think it's easier to live in Utah than it is in Southern California? For me, having lived in both places, yes, the livability here in Utah seems easier. There are, it's very convenient. There are drive-throughs for everything. If you don't want to get out of your car, if it's too hot, it's too cold, the weather, whatever it is, the parks, the accessibility to get to schools, there's a bus system that's here. So really just the livability here. The summers get warm, but not so warm that it's super uncomfortable, right? So it is one of these places where it's an easy place to live, and it's really accessible to a lot of different things, like I've mentioned before in previous videos. But you've got the Salt Lake International Airport. If you are wanting to drive down to Southern California or fly, the accessibility to get to different places, heading over to Arizona, you want to go to Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, the accessibility, it's not that far away from a lot of different states that people want to explore as well. So number 3 is definitely the livability. Number 4, I touched on this briefly with the livability, but really just the education. The education system here in Utah, you're looking at higher education. If you are looking more at, high school, middle school, if you're looking at elementary schools, if you are looking, really taking a deep dive into the education system, people are moving from Arizona to Utah for, like I said, for college. They're moving here for different types of schools, even like the public schools. They have lots of different immersion programs, dual language immersion programs. If you are wanting your children to learn that right in the public school system, they have a lot of that here. So education is a big one of why people are also moving from Arizona here to Utah. Number 5 are the outdoors. Yes, the great outdoors. You can see here in Utah, and I know a lot of people move here because they have a really active lifestyle. They love being outdoors. They love the hiking, the biking, the fishing, the canoeing, the paddleboarding, all of those different things. And Utah offers such a rich outdoor environment and a lifestyle here. In Arizona, you can still get a lot of that. And a lot of people love living in Arizona because of, I know my dad for years and years and years would go down to Arizona for spring training. And that was something he absolutely loved. And he'd go to different camps in Arizona simply because of the baseball and the spring training, and absolutely love that. So there is a great outdoor sort of scene and lifestyle that is in Arizona as well. But I have found, at least clients that are moving here of mine that I've talked with, they're moving here because they want the 4 seasons. They want the skiing, they want the snowboarding, they want really the 4 seasons that go along with the active lifestyle here. But they also want to be able to go to the lakes and the reservoirs, and they like all of the mountains and the hiking and the biking, and they like that accessibility to it. So more people, I've noticed, are drawn to this simply because of the beauty of the outdoors as well. Number 6 reason why people are moving from Arizona to Utah, simply the cultural activities and experiences that are here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. There is a lot of rich culture when you're talking about museums and you're talking about, really the theater and arts and all of that. There is a strong draw here to Salt Lake because there really are so many incredible things that are downtown Salt Lake, that are outside and around. Really, those cultural experiences and activities are a big one here. As many of you know, the Sundance Film Festival is also shot here in Utah. It used to actually be in Sundance, but now it's more in the Park City area. But that is something that brings a lot of people here to Utah as well. Just having, the different film festivals, the different theater, the arts, the museums is a big draw for people moving here to Utah. Next on the list is religious and family ties. Yes, religion and family ties brings a lot of people from Arizona here to Utah. I've actually met so many people that are like, yeah, you know what? Actually, we grew up here in Utah. Or I have family that moved here from Arizona to Utah, and it's just time to be closer to family. My parents are aging, or, we want to be closer to siblings or cousins, whatever it is. So a lot of people are moving from Arizona here to Utah simply to be closer to family members, and also that, the religious ties that are here with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There is, a large community here with that religious affiliation. So people are drawn toward, really moving here because of those religious ties, and then also to be closer to family. And last but not least, this was actually one that my kids came up with. And my kids said, so like I said, we spent about a week in Arizona. Recently, we had a spectacular time, touring around and going to Sedona. And like I said, we ended up going to the Grand Canyon. It was fantastic. But one of the things that we did not realize were the amount of bugs and mosquitoes and cockroaches and just a lot of different bugs that we ended up seeing while we were in Arizona. One night we ended up just going for a little hike. It was, in the evening. It wasn't any kind of foresty area. We were just out. We all came back just covered in mosquito bites. And it wasn't something that we're normally used to here in Utah. We can be out at night and there are no mosquitoes where I am right now and where we are. And when I say no mosquitoes, I mean, I can go out at night. I'm not going to get bit. Yes, there are mosquitoes here, but it really depends on where you're living. If you are closer to water, so, if you are you're close to Utah Lake, you're going to see a lot more bugs and a lot more mosquitoes if you are somewhere there. But if you're in and around Salt Lake area, most of the places you're not going to see a lot of mosquitoes. So for us, that was a big one. And then also my kids really wanted to see a scorpion when we were in Arizona, because one of the high schools, their mascot was the scorpion, and they were like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool if we saw a scorpion. So yes, we did see a scorpion. And one of the things that you really don't see much of here in Utah are scorpions. So really just the bugs, the insects, all of that. Yes, we've got plenty of them here, but you don't notice it as much with the mosquitoes. You don't notice it as much with some of those other bugs here in Utah. So really, if you're thinking about making a move from Arizona here to Salt Lake, just kind of to recap some of these different things we talked about the livability, we talked about really the outdoor activities, the 4 seasons, the education system, the cultural experiences, the fine arts that you're going to, really get to experience here. Like I said, the livability, and it's just kind of it's really an easy place to live. And one other thing that we really didn't touch on much is the cost of living. The cost of living is fairly comparable when you're coming from Arizona here to Utah. But hopefully this gives you kind of a good snapshot of what you can expect and really why some people are moving from Arizona here to Salt Lake. It may be a good fit for you, it may not. I always say, if you are thinking, maybe you're in Arizona right now and you're thinking, you know what, I want to move here to Utah because my family's here, or the religious ties, or whatever it is that's drawing you here to Utah, I always say, come on out, take a visit, look, explore a lot of different areas here. You're going to notice that in Arizona and here in Utah, it's a dry climate. So you're going to notice it's pretty similar, but there are the 4 seasons here. There are a lot of differences than in Arizona. So come on out, take a peek, take a look, explore the area. And if you are thinking about making a move, relocating, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. My team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. So wishing you a fabulous rest of your day. And if you have any questions, feel free, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.